One of the biggest misconceptions in football about how to throw the ball vertically down the field is that the quarterback actually has to throw the ball 20, 30, 40 yards down the field to get this done. It's just not, that's just not the way it's done. The way that you're going to get a vertical throw, regardless if you're talking about the NFL, college, high school, youth, or flag football that we've got here, is that this quarterback needs to be coached that the ball is going to get up and out quickly. And the majority of your yards are going to be made after the catch right here, where your outside receiver is going to beat a man coverage defender and have the ball thrown outside, or even a zone defender if you can get up on the toes and expect that ball to be somewhere around 4 yards from the sideline. So let's step back and take a look at just how you want to coach this. And this goes, particularly for a young flag football receiver and a young flag football quarterback that we're looking at right here. Now you've got a 6v6 play. It could be 7v7, could be 5v5, whatever level that you've got when you've got a receiver outside. So let's start with the quarterback. Once again, if I'm coaching a quarterback here and the quarterback is under center, and some of the younger flag football, younger youth football players might be still under center, they want to take a three-step drop. Let's assume this is a right-handed quarterback right here. So I want to take 1, 2, 3, and that ball is out. That ball is up, and you're really throwing it to a spot to where you expect that receiver to beat that man coverage corner or even possibly a zone coverage corner. Now, if the quarterback happens to be in the pistol or the shotgun, all they're going to do is take that and take a one-step drop and get the ball up and out, once again, throw into a spot that you expect your receiver to be somewhere around 4 yards from the sideline. So once again, you don't have to worry about your quarterback getting sacked on a play like this. The ball should be up and out. Now, if you're coaching from a schematic point of view, and we'll come back and look at this Z in a second. Obviously, if they're playing soft off of your outside receivers, all you want to do at this point is run a curl route back to your quarterback and things like that. Now, let's look at what you can build in, like we have here for a young quarterback. Pre-snap, you can look out there and see man coverage, and you've got a corner setting in there playing tight. Then it's what you want. You're going to get a chance to actually throw this ball down the field on the outside shoulder. Now, as you get to the older versions of football, whether it be flag or high school or whatever, that's where you're going to get into your back shoulder throw some. Your man coverage defender, all right, I'm just going to add a player here, all right. This player right here is going to be playing inside leverage, all right, just to protect against the slant, any in-breaking routes. So that's why the ball thrown over the outside shoulder is going to be the placement that you're going to ask for your young quarterback. Now, once again, if they're playing too far off, you can run a curl route here. But let's say you want to keep this on and you've got a young quarterback and you give them the option to look out there and they see that this corner or this man coverage defender is way off. This is when you give your young quarterback the option just to forget this right here. All right, scratch it off. Not a good play on this one right here. So now have answers underneath. We've got a split back formation here out of 6v6 flag football. It could be where you have both of your, all of your receivers on the line of scrimmage, however you want to do it. We call this Ohio. Some people call it orbit. But essentially all it is you're building in a quick out underneath in case the look is not what you want out here. So now what your quarterback would do, once again, same footwork. Underneath center, 1, 2, 3, balls out to the F. In the gun, one step, balls out to the F. Now, the other part with the quarterback, till we get over here and talk about a little bit about the technique of the Z, is that your quarterback should be taught to take a look at the best side to work this. You never want your young quarterback particularly trying to work something over here on the left and over here on the right. What you want to do is you want to look at which side, all right, is best for your young quarterback. Let's say they make that decision that the best side is the matchup over here. Now, what what comes into play when you tell your quarterback that? The first thing is obviously just personnel matchups. If you've got a good matchup and your X is one of your best players, and this player over here for your opponent is one of their slower ones, that's where you want to go with the ball. The second thing that you can come into play is what side of the field are you on? Sometimes, depending on what league you're playing in, you might actually have a boundary throw that's easier for a young quarterback to get the ball out that way. And then the third thing, just like we talked about, is scheme. Where are they playing? Are they playing up here press? Or are they playing off? All right, now let's talk about our receivers just a little bit. Regardless of whether you're beating a zone defender or you're defeating a man defender, what you want to do is you've got to get off the ball. All right, exploding off the ball, you've got to eat this cushion up. If it's a man coverage defender, that's going to happen very quickly. You see how we've got it shown right here, where this player is going to run up on the toes. All right, get up on the toes first of that defender, and then outside release. And at some point, you've got to straighten the stem. If you allow your receivers to do this, this is where the ball ends up getting thrown long and out of bounds, or there's just not enough real estate out there for your receiver to make that. And that's what a young receiver is going to do. They're going to fade outside because they think that they're creating separation between a defender. Your young receiver has to outside release initially, but then they've got to straighten that stem, because when you straighten the stem, that's going to allow your quarterback a box on the outside to throw that ball over the outside shoulder. Okay, now that's once again where you're going to get into later, maybe even having a situation to where you've got back shoulder throws, all right, or comebacks, that type of thing that you can throw. But initially, what you want to do is just keep it simple. Let the ball end up, all right, thrown either out in front if your receiver has beaten this defender, or on the outside shoulder. Now, once again, the inside receiver now needs to do essentially the same thing. A little bit of an outside release, stem up to 4 yards. All right, once again, that can happen from here. You can even do this out of a 3-by-1 formation and have a go route and 2 quick out routes. But once again, you want to make sure that you run a crisp route. You don't want to let your receivers fade here, because what's going to happen if they run that route and they lose ground, a good defender will undercut that and intercept it, and now you got all kinds of problems. So what you want to do is a nice crisp route. You decide based on your quarterback's arm strength how deep you want this route to be. If you've got a 8-year-old quarterback, maybe you want this to be 2 or 3 yards. If you've got you're coaching a 9th grader or a 10th grader, then you can get a little bit deeper with it. But essentially, once again, you want to tell your quarterback and everybody involved, pick a side. You can work it 1 to 2 to 3 with your center, in this case right here, being your third option. Or you can just make this an alert out here to where the quarterback is going to go deep with it here, all right, and then check it down. And then you can also, with a young quarterback, take this out of the mix and just let them read the quick out route to your center. But once again, never have them working both sides of the field, because that's certainly a recipe for disaster.